think not long after we got married, we decided we knew we wanted to become parents.
I remember saying the word twins in a very loud, high-pitched voice.
It came to reality when you see the ultrasound and the hearts beating and the ultrasound tech saying, well, here's one and there's the other, and wow. Everything was progressing normally. After about 10 weeks, the fertility clinic released me to my regular OBGYN, and it was all going well. And my dad died suddenly the end of February 2007, and then less than 12 days later, I find myself being rushed to the hospital in labor. He was in spring training for Florida for work with the Pirates, and my water broke at home around 8 in the evening. I hadn't been feeling good earlier that day, but nothing was going off in my head that something was the matter. And it was shock. I wasn't panicking. It was pure shock. And I remember calling him, and I said, I think my water just broke. And he said, call 911. And so a policeman came and, waited with me. And I remember them putting me in the ambulance, and the EMT said, congratulations. And I remember saying, no, you don't understand. It's too early. By the time I got to the hospital, I guess I really didn't know what was happening. I knew I was in an extreme amount of pain. And by the time they wheeled me into the room, and my OBGYN actually was on call that evening, and she checked me out, and I just remember them shaking their heads. So I knew then, it was too late, but I wasn't reacting because I was in shock. I remember delivering Ethan, and he was born sleeping. But I remember them wrapping him up and handing him to me, and I remember his little face was all red because it had been some time between, when my water broke and when he was delivered, sometime after 1 the following morning. And just holding him and just telling him that I'm sorry, but it's okay to go be with Grandpa. And I know my mom told me later that absolutely broke her heart to have to watch her child say goodbye to my child. And so I remember I was holding him when my second water broke, and I can't remember if I handed Ethan off to my mom or somebody, but I remember Casey being delivered. He was born alive, and I remember him coming out and just taking a big deep breath, and I can still hear it, and throwing his hands up. And I just looked at him. I didn't take him. And I don't know why, but they put him under a warmer, and I know my mom was keeping watch on him, and I'm not sure after how long, but he passed. And, I'll forever regret that I didn't immediately scoop him up and try to interact with him, in any way that I could while he was still alive.
I just remember walking in that room, and I remember seeing her, and I remember seeing the boys, and that was very frustrating for me. I was very mad why that happened to us. I just can't comprehend that 7 years later.
We had so many hopes and dreams for those little boys, for our family, what was supposed to be a family of 4, and now we don't have that anymore. So how do you continue to live? How do you continue to exist when the rest of the world, is moving as though nothing ever happened? I knew that I needed to talk to someone. I couldn't do it alone. And a few months after the loss is when I stumbled upon the March of Dimes Share Your Story site. I started seeing a clinical psychologist. I started taking steps in the direction to figure out how to live again. We support the March of Dimes because it's a connection to our sons. It's something positive that we can do in their memory to help another family have a better outcome than we did. It's one of the few things that we still can do for our sons, in our sons' memory, in helping others. And I think we both believe that our sons would be proud of those efforts, that they have parents who want to do good for someone else in their name.